with the competitive schedule being what it is and how it's evolved, there's a surf movie called Endless Summer, and I kind of feel like the summer never ended. And so you used to be able to like press pause, get your head together, evaluate, like, all right, this worked, this didn't work, this is what we're going to implement this year. And so we had a really productive summer. We had, between swim, dive, and synchro, we had 15 people over in Fukuoka. We were well represented in Ireland. We had kids at WUGS, and now we've got a handful going to Pan Ams. And so that speaks to that idea of like, all right, and I think a season should read like a good book. It should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. But here we are in September, at least with part of our team, having to create some opportunities that probably, it's going to get them ready for Pan Ams, but this is a long year, and the goal is to be fast at the end of the year, right, in June and July, and so we just have to be really mindful in terms of putting kids in position to do their best stuff when it counts. We'll have some that'll be at world champs, and it's just, when we say this from the get-go, if there's a hierarchy, the first or the best thing that we can do is help kids represent their country at the highest level. And then second is we want to be good short course at the NC2As, and Big Tens is on the way to that. And so, you always start with the end in mind, and for those kids that have the opportunity to represent their country in Paris, that's the goal. There's a saying that we don't rise to the level of our competition, we rise to the level of our preparation. And so, if the journey truly is the reward, and that's where we spend 99% of our time, then that's where we have to really, so you call it the grind or process or whatever you want to call it. But I way more enjoy that than I do meets, because 9 times out of 10 I know what's going to happen at a meet. And so our goal is to find opportunities to help kids get better and then build some momentum into those championship segments. We train long course at least 3 to 4 times year round, right? And so that's an important part of who we are and what we do, and we think there's some pretty compelling reasons for doing that. Second is we ease into the year, and so the month of September, in a typical September, we're going to go 5 swims and 4 lifts. That's not going to set us up to swim fast in November. And so again, it goes to that idea of just being very purposeful, progressing, putting kids in a position physically, mentally, emotionally, where they're still excited. Everybody's excited in September. It's a long season, right? It's a marathon. It doesn't matter what event you swim. And so, again, that idea of kind of building momentum and putting kids in that position in February, March, and then beyond. Well, we take all day Wednesday off and all day Sunday. We don't start our 20-hour calendar until early October. So that allows us to save a second segment in April. And really, we're at the point now with our culture where we don't have a lot of 8-hour and 20-hour battles. We're attracting kids who want to be good, and they have a high level of trust in our program in terms of what we believe it's going to take to get there. And so it's a lot less fighting or hand-wringing than it is just creating opportunities. But again, it plays that idea that it's a give and a take. And so, and everybody's enthusiastic in September, and so we try to play on that. And our focus beginning of the year is really trying to set a base that we can build on, and so October is where we really start to build on that. We do some retreats, so we bring in, we work with a performance consultant, and she's going to be there on Monday and Tuesday of this next week. We did a ropes course with the team, 10 days ago. They knocked out their media day, so they're called gladiator shots. I don't know where that came from, but I think that was yesterday while I was gone. End of the month, our last lift, we call this our first phase, so it's 6 weeks long. The last lift of phase 1 is a big deal, right? DJs and drones and it is, yeah.
What makes it so special? Why is that?
It's like the capstone for that first phase, right? And that first phase is really, really challenging. And ultimately, we're trying to get the body ready to do some stuff. And that stuff could look like, max strength, and then ultimately converting that strength into somewhere else. But, there's an esprit de corps. So we train with the swimmers and divers together. And so it's challenging but fun, and we're blessed. We've got an unbelievable strength coach in Ryan Sprague, and so each year we kind of take it up a level.